I'm very grateful that you took the time to tune in to today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Listen, we have a great show lined up for you.
Hello, everyone.
I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am super excited to have some women that are unapologetic. They are brave. They have a story to tell, and they are here in the virtual studio audience. Hi, ladies. How are you all today?
Hello, we are great.
We're going to have a good time today, right?
Yes.
Let's celebrate. Yes.
All right. Come on.
I am super excited. Where are you guys all from? Tell me, Chanel, where are you visiting in from?
Washington, D.C. area.
See, I knew it was something, but I used to work in pharmaceutical sales in the Washington, D.C. area. And it's just something about, people in the D.C. area. You all about your business. You doing your thing, right?
Yeah.
But I think people in Georgia are like that. And I don't know. It's just people different pockets of the world.
Yeah. No.
There's a certain aura about you,
Yeah.
Well, anyway, glad to have you. How about
Thank
you,
you so
Miss
much.
Paula?
I am from Virginia and near Richmond.
Girl, now see, I'm from Newport News, Virginia. And I knew that there would be something that just connected me to those beautiful cheeks over there. I love your smile, and I'm excited to have you here from the Tidewater area. How about you, Shaunda?
Now, I'm originally from Hampton. What you say? Come on, 757. But I am today in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm still kind of in that groove of 64, right?
Oh, that's funny. The interesting part, Shaunda, is that everybody from Newport News, we all are Hampton, and I don't know why. I thought it was just me and I was on the island by myself until I realized everybody says 757, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We used to
What
say
is that
804, but they changed our area code. So now it's the 757, right?
That's funny. I see you, Monica, backstage. Are you ready to come in? All right, let me pull you in too. Beautiful queen back there. How are you today?
I am well, thank you.
Awesome. Listen, tell me where you're from as well. Where you're visiting in from?
Visiting from Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland in the house.
All right, everybody. Well, we have people from all around the areas. Also, tell us where you're visiting in from in the virtual studio audience. Come on in, type your name, say, hey, I'm visiting from this area, and we'll pop your comments up throughout the broadcast and just acknowledge you, because without you, we know that the show would not be what it would be. So let's see where some of you all are coming in from. I see you, our sunshine expert right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Her name is Athena Robertson, and she's visiting in from the Queen City. She said, happy day, Queens. How are you?
Hi.
I see Dr. Tina Ramsey. Now, if you're not familiar with a CTR Media Network, the program that she is in charge of streams to over 100 countries and 350 million households. And the Kim Jacobs Show is one of those shows on CTR Media Network. She's visiting in from South Carolina today.
Awesome.
I see you, Pam Howard. Now, if you all ever want an event that's planned in luxury, you want to connect with Pamela Howard, let me know. I'll connect you on social media. She keeps you on task. You do not miss any timelines, no deadlines, because she's an event luxury planning specialist, and she's one of our experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Hey, Pam.
Hello.
All right, let's see who else is on. I see all of you all. Vanita's in the house, and she says she's visiting in from Florida. Glad to have you, Vanita.
Hi, Vanita.
And Washington is in the house. That's family. Chance said, hey, from all the way. Another 757. All right, y'all. Look, we could do this the whole show. I see you, Tanisha. Good morning, Queens.
She's actually one of our other
Yes.
co-authors.
Yeah.
Okay, is she one of the people? Oh, okay.
No, but she is one of the co-authors. So I think she has something else to do, but she is tuning in from wherever she is traveling to. She's an amazing baker, so she may be making deliveries even as we speak.
Oh, that is awesome, Tanisha. I'm so glad that you're a part of this wonderful project. And let me do this too, because some of you may want to just pop on, even if you're traveling or doing something and you want to go ahead and pop on the screen and give a shout out head to head. I'm going to put this link. All you have to do is copy it and paste it in your browser. It'll bring you right into the virtual studio audience, and you can say a positive comment. Now, keep it short, a comment, and then we'll pop you off screen. When you do that, do not come on here now. Listen, y'all, I have people that come on and they be like, where am I? Here. You click the button, you know how you got it. So keep that in mind too, y'all. I see all of your comments, and we'll go ahead and keep y'all flowing in throughout the day and keep those comments coming. I see Pam said her husband is from Brooklyn, New York, and she lived in New York, New York. Okay. All right. I see Augusta, Georgia, and I also see Charlotte, but originally from 757. Demona DeBrew is in the house.
Yes.
And Baltimore, Maryland is where Vanita is visiting. Okay, y'all. Y'all, we can do a whole show about just where we're visiting in from. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk with these women from Unapologetically Brave. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter and Everett, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
Of Unapologetically Brave. I'm going to pop the visionary up here. And Shaunda, if I'm not mistaken, you're the visionary, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to pop you up here and give you front stage so people get a chance to know who you are and learn more about you. I will give a formal introduction first, and then we're going to hear from this entrepreneur trailblazer about her vision of Unapologetically Brave. She is the founder of Positioned with a Purpose, LLC, and a visionary author of Unapologetically Brave anthology. She's an international motivational speaker who shared the stage in 2021 with the legendary Les Brown, her former speaking coach and mentor. She is now a two-time best-selling author and has a licensed realtor in Virginia since 2014. She has a bachelor's degree and at the University of Maryland University College and a master's degree at Howard University School of Divinity. There is so much more to her story, and I want her to talk about some of these things because she serves in ministry. She's married to Earl, and you name it, this woman has done it. So welcome so much to the Kim Jacobs Show, Shaunda Howerton. How are you?
I am good. I'm so happy to be here. OMG. Finally, we did it, right? I'm so excited to be here. You and I have exchanged messages over the last year or so. So I'm just glad that, you know what, when you set your mind to do a thing and when the timing is right, that everything aligns. And so here we are today. So thank you again, Kim, for having me. So well, listen, you made that bio sound so good. Like I do everything. I am a Jill of all trades, but hopefully a master of some. You know, they say a jack of all trades and a master of none. Hopefully I have mastered some things well. And so I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to be here. And as far as how it came about, we were in Clubhouse last year. And in our Clubhouse, we meet Monday through Friday at early, right? 6:20 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. And the lady, we are very open and we're very transparent in that space. God has allowed us to create a safe space. And so in that safe space, we are transparent and we share stories and we talk about the real deal. And in that, as I was just listening to the stories unfold, the Lord just kind of pressed in my spirit, you know what, this right here is your anthology. Like these stories need to be compiled. And so we've had some transition as far as the people in the room. But when we put out the call, these amazing 14 authors decided, or to be authors, but now authors said, yeah, let's do this. And so that's how it came about. And I'm so grateful for them for coming on board, trusting the God in me and trusting the vision. So it's been a very amazing, obstacle filled, but yet peaceful journey.
That's
So I'm
interesting.
grateful.
Now, what makes you pick? What made you go with the wording unapologetically brave? Because that's a lot. When you unpack that, it's like, why unapologetically brave?
Well, so when we met together last year in June, we had shirts and we were like, yeah, girl power. We unapologetically positioned with a purpose. Absolutely. Minister Paula has on her shirt now. And that was actually going to be the name or the title of the book, Unapologetically Positioned with a Purpose. However, as we begin putting things together, the Lord showed me that my subtitle could be broken out into a 4-part series. And I said, okay, so we need to transition a bit. And now we are unapologetically brave first, because why? They decided to trust me, right? And so they are brave telling their stories, but also trusting me to make this happen. But we're also brave because we have faced so many obstacles, but it takes a lot to be able to tell your story. And so for that, we get that S on our chest, right? And we are so amazing and brave, and we're unapologetic, because we're no longer apologizing for our voice. We're not apologizing for our presence. We're not apologizing for the strength that we have gained along the way. Don't get me started, Kim. Woo, child.
Okay,
Listen.
you can preach now. I can see that you can motivate people to get involved with anything that you do. And speaking of which, 15 women answered the call, is what I really call it. Answered the call when you said, hey, let's do this. What made you decide to pick those particular 15 out of probably a gazillion that were interested?
Well, as God would have it, he did the choosing, because they're the ones that answered the call. I love it. There were several others who wanted to be a part of it, but were not able to at this time. So I believe that was God choosing who was supposed to be here. And so everybody was accepted that came, and they are amazing. I take no credit, because I could not have picked a better group of women, because when I say we had no isms, we had no schisms, we had no drama, like even with all the obstacles that we had to overcome, it was still very peaceful, a peaceful process. So God did that.
Excellent. Okay. And I actually see Trellis back here too. So I'm going to pull her in. Trellis, come on in. Glad to have you too on the Kim Jacobs Show. All of you that are joining, I'm super excited. And make sure you put your contact information, Trellis, in the back for me in all caps, so I can pull it over for everybody to know. Now, Shaunda, when I think about some of the words, strength, hope, triumph, I know that each of the different authors here will talk from their perspective, and tell me which word, when you all do speak to me and to the studio audience, which word you really feel pulled at your heartstrings when you were writing your chapter. All right. So what I'm wondering is, you have a lot that you're balancing, because you're balancing your family, you're balancing ministry, you're balancing ownership of business. How do you balance all of these different aspects of your life? Oh, somebody's phone.
That is so amazing that you asked that question, because that is absolutely what my chapter is about. Oh my goodness. That is what it is about. And so it's really God. It is God, and it's the anointing and the grace to be able to do it all. Hey, y'all, there's my family, y'all. My hubby. Listen, let me tell you about my husband, honey. He is a Cowboys fan. And so he told me how about them Cowboys? And after service, he put on that hat, and the church went wild. He's really showing off. So
no, wait a minute. Let's keep it real. I think you did it in some kind of cutesy way. That is not how we all visualized it, but you were like,
it did. Like, listen, I wish I had the date so y'all could go back and look at it, because he pulled it out of nowhere. So nobody was expecting that hat. And so he just showed out. But anyway, so yes, that's him and my boys, Justice and Earl the Third. And so those are my people. The only the person that's missing, or rather the dog, is our pit bull Summer. She is definitely a part of the family. But
that's so funny. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you say your chapter is about what?
My title of the chapter is called Your Time Will Come, and it's about balancing it and realizing that I didn't have it all together. And so what I'm able to do is, honestly, because of God's grace, I have self-diagnosed myself with ADD. My husband hates when I say that, but I don't care. It's my truth, right? Listen, because if the shoe fits, you just lace it up and you just wear it and you keep on going, right? And so when they say, okay, if you answer 10 out of the 12 questions, it's a good possibility. So I had all 10 out of the 12. So it's a good possibility that it's real. But why do I say that? Because my mind allows me to be able to do this and to do this and to go over here and do that. And so it actually is my superpower. I say it's my superpower because it helps me. It allows me to be creative. It really allows me not to get stressed out about every change that happens because life is always changing. And so, but I'm able to adapt to that. But when it came to writing my chapter, that's where I had a freeze because I was so busy being busy, doing all of these things, making sure I was managing the anthology that when it came time to focus on me, it was like, oh yeah, but that part, you got to deal with some real stuff. So it's not always easy, but God's grace is sufficient. And I'll say this and then I'll yield. I think because so many things happen so quickly, I don't always get a chance to really sit and think about what's happening. Like I don't have those slow moments. It's always like this, right? I don't have a chance to think about it. I just have to do it. And I'm an action taker. So when it happens, I just got to take action. I got to figure out a solution and keep it moving. And so again, that's God's grace that allows all of that to happen like that.
Wow. I'm glad you said that because I think any of us that are busy entrepreneurs can definitely relate to that theory. It's like, oh, that happened? Okay, well, I have to put that I have to just put that back and deal with that another time because I need to keep it moving on what God has for me to focus on. So I love your chapter. Your time will come, and this is going to be inspirational to everyone that gets a copy of this book. So how can people stay connected with you, Shaunda?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, you got to go to Positioned, ED at the end, right? Positioned with a purpose.com. You can connect with me there. Of course, I am on IG as Positioned with a Purpose. You can also go to Facebook. We have a Facebook group, Positioned with a Purpose as well. And also, I'm going to slide this in. It's one of the things that I forgot. But also, as far as the book is concerned, you can go to Unapologeticallybrave.com and get all the deets there about the book. And you can support any author you choose to buy from. So I'm going to yield there.
I am unapologetic. You can't yield yet because I'm typing. So go ahead.
yes.
Unapologetically what?
Brave.com.
Okay. Brave.com. Then that way you can choose to purchase any book from any of the authors that you see here today. It's in the comments section.
Absolutely.
Stay connected with Shaunda at positionedwithapurpose.com.
Yes.
Shaunda, positionedwithapurpose.com.
No, just Positioned with a Purpose.
Positioned with a Purpose. I was going to say, what? Okay. So it's positionedwithapurpose.com. Is how you stay connected with Shaunda. Yeah. All right. Wow. I'm actually thoroughly impressed here because to have 15 people come together and to be a part of this project is something that it takes a lot for you to make a conscious decision to say, I'm going to do this. And I want to hear next from you. Let me make sure of how the order that I have it in, because I don't want to miss anybody. Trellis, is that you, right? So Trellis, I'm glad you're able to be here today.
Thank you for having me.
Look at your smile. Y'all are, okay, so y'all should have some kind of apologetically brave smile session. Y'all all are like bright and energetic and full of life. Trellis, when we come back after this commercial break, first of all, tell everybody what the title of your chapter is before we go to break.
It is Queenly, Qualified, Powerful, and Peculiar.
Queenly, qualified, powerful, and peculiar. Oh my G, right? So in the book, Unapologetically Brave, we're going to hear from this queen right after our commercial break. Trellis will have the floor. We'll be right back, everyone.
I have peace of mind with Silver Shield Security, which has been protecting my family and home, along with servicing the Carolinas for over a decade. Silver Shield Security knows the importance of convenience and safety. Whether you live in an apartment or home or run a business, they are here to protect you from unwanted intrusions and fires. Call now at 704-440-4688 or visit the website at www.silvershield-security.com. You can use my promo code #ToneX and get 1/2 off your installation price. Don't forget to ask about the new no money down options. Let Silver Shield Security help to give you peace of mind, just like me and my family, and keep your business safe.
Hey everyone, we're back and we're talking with some of the authors and the visionary herself behind Unapologetically Brave. And Trellis Thomas is coming to us now. I want to introduce her to you. She is a clinical nurse, case manager, supervisor. She's a ministry leader, teacher, founder of Queen's Crowns and Conversations and Crown Coaching, LLC. She also assists women and young girls by empowering them to manifest their kingdom identities and to glow for God's glory, to build kingdom legacies in their families, communities, and abroad. And she's a proud mom of 4 beautiful daughters, Ashley, Erica, Elisa, and a bonus daughter, Kimoni. So I am super. She's also a Grammy. This woman got a lot of hats. Okay, she got 4 grand princesses. You can't leave them out. Jamal, Jamel, Tristan, and Jordan, and 1 grand princess, Lyric. Okay, her life's motto, I'll let her tell you what it is. Welcome, Trellis Thomas. How are you?
I am wonderful. My life motto is, it does not matter what they call you, it only matters what you answer to.
Woo! So don't worry about what people got to say. Just go on about your business, as my grandma said. Go on now, go on.
Absolutely.
Ain't no need to worry about that. So I'm excited to have you, Trellis. Now talk to us about your chapter in Unapologetically Brave.
My chapter, Queenly, Qualified, Powerful, and Peculiar, it talks about recognizing and discovering who you are in Christ. Once you know who you are, and more importantly, whose you are, knowing that you have been created from royalty, you take dominion and authority right where you are, trampling upon every serpent, every weapon, every enemy that will try to hinder you or stop you or potentially destroy you. And so when I realized who I was, and more importantly, whose I was, I knew that my greatness had been downloaded inside of me. And I was to take dominion and authority, not just for me, but for my families, from the young girls and women that I mentor. If you do not know who you are, you cannot operate from a kingdom perspective. And so despite the obstacles, despite the tragedies that may happen to you, everything is happening for you. And your decisions that you have made as we're learning and growing into our kingdom identities never cancels God's assignment on your life. In one of the darkest times of my life, while I was incarcerated, I was holding Bible studies, teaching, praying for one another, other women in that facility. So let's be honest. I didn't want to talk to them. I didn't want to pray for them. Just leave me alone because I have my own issues. But what is evident never has to be explained. There was and there is a calling on my life, an anointing on my life that cannot be denied and is undeniable. So even in the darkest places, God still allowed me to walk in what he called me to do unapologetically. And that is my mission, that is my purpose, that is my heartbeat. That's how I live every day of my life. When you know and you take your rightful place in the kingdom, being created from the kingdom, you are unstoppable.
Wow, that is extremely motivating. But there are some people, Trellis, that don't know where to begin, how to put the first foot in front of the other one and take those baby steps to get to being unapologetically bold and knowing their purpose. What advice would you give any women, men, viewers that have tuned in today to just take that first step?
Right. For my men as well, you are kingdom and qualified. You are powerful and peculiar. It starts with tapping into finding out who you are. And that is a growth process. Change is inevitable. As long as we are here, change is going to happen. Growth is optional. It takes one step to start on your kingdom journey. And so when I am an atmosphere shifter, meaning I do not have to be at the head of the table, but when I step into any atmosphere, the table is going to shift in my favor. So when I show up I don't have to say a word. I don't have to ask for respect. My kingdom presence commands respect, but it starts with taking one step to that kingdom journey, because greatness has already been provided. You just have to catch up with what God has already ordained for you.
Wow. Are y'all taking notes on this in the virtual studio audience? Because this right here is some powerful stuff that you want to go back and learn from later. So take those notes, comments, and nuggets that they're sharing with you and apply. It's something we can apply to our lives today. We don't have to wait. So if you say
Correct.
today was something that you wanted them to start doing right this second, what would that one thing be? And then we're going to go to the next person.
That would be to embrace who God has created you to be unapologetically. Do not apologize for the greatness that is inside of you. And never, ever, ever, did I say ever?
Not
Let
ever.
anyone dim your light because they're intimidated by your shine. I suggest you go to Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and get some shades, because this is a position you better get used to.
Okay. That's like a drop the mic moment. It's like, go get your shades from Walmart, from wherever you're going. And actually, I'm gonna be able to get y'all some shades from the Kim Jacobs show soon. So just so y'all know, everybody comment on these, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure y'all have some accessibility to them. Anyway, Trellis, how do people stay connected with you?
They can stay connected with me at Trellis and Quinette, ANQUNETT @gmail.com. You can also reach me if you do not have Clubhouse. Download Clubhouse and find my profile, back channel me, and that gives you all the information in my bio. And if I am not available, I will contact you as soon as time permits, because every contact, kingdom connection contact, is important. And so if you want to connect with me to empower women, girls, men, where you are, connect with me.
Wow. And now, just so I understand now, Shaunda, you have like, it's 15 of them.
It's 14 of them and one of me,
One
so
of
that's
you.
why we get the 15. But yes, we all are fire. So get ready, y'all.
Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all. I can see y'all typing a lot of comments. So let me take a moment and acknowledge, because I won't be able to wait to the whole end for all of these comments, right? Because then it'll be too many and then I miss somebody, blah, blah, blah. You know how it goes. And people, I know she saw my comment. I ain't going down like this. So let's go and add you, Monica, back in, because you are actually going to be coming up here next. And Chanel, whenever you're ready to come back in, just let me know and I'll bring you back in. Trying to manage all of this. I'm over here like I'm being a master producer. I'm doing my thing. All right. Actually, speaking of which, I teach people how to start a show from scratch. So if you're interested in learning more about how you can have your own show, own your own show content, and just be able to have a great experience connecting on a deeper level with your audience, then reach out to me and I will do that one-on-one training with you, as well as a 6-week training course one-on-one. All right. So let me see some of these comments that's coming in. Who is this? Who is this? Everything health, fitness, and wellness. She said, yes, yes. All right. And I see, make sure you all stay connected. Let's see. Preach, Trellis. Somebody said, preach, Trellis. Preach.
I
That's
love
that
it.
ministry in you.
Hey, Kim, that's one of our other co-authors, Shay Hill Pettigrew. She is not able to be here because she's a physical therapist and working, but that is her. She's one of the 14. So
Look at her too. Look at her. No, she's not in that hat. She like, what? Don't play. Look at her. She ready. Shay, it's a great pleasure to have you in the virtual studio audience. Tiffany says, hey, don't let anybody dim your light. Yes.
hey,
Dr.
Tiffany. Okay, sorry, that's my
Oh,
friend. Hey,
no,
Tiff.
girl, you can yell out and talk to anybody you want. Dr. Zakia, she deals a lot with in diversity and inclusion and people that deal with disabilities and how to make sure they're included. She is on and she says, amen. Let's see. Any other comment? Well, I've seen a lot of comments, so y'all probably like, what you mean? Any other comments, Kim? Sharif says she loves it. And Tika says, amen. Tiffany Bell says, I love this. Some of my favorite people. Aww. And
Hey, Tika.
Tika said, I agree that I have self-diagnosed myself with ADD as well. And Family Chance is putting a lot of hearts, and that's epic. I love how you added the pictures to the conversation, Kim. Oh, it's my honor. Anybody that sent me pictures, I'm gonna pop them up. So if you throughout the broadcast say, Kim, let me send a picture too. I'll put my my personal account back here, and I'll see it come in and pop it up for you. Wait a minute, let me make sure. I think you already shared it, Shaunda, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just do it just to be on the safe side, because I love sharing people and your celebratory moments, and I'll make sure I pop them up. All right, let's see. Any other comments that came in? Okay, lots of comments, y'all. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep coming back. Good morning. I love you guys. Love y'all is what Shauna says. And we do have some fun. We have fun. Y'all have fun over there in your
Absolutely.
All right.
Yes.
All right, everybody. So listen, we're going to take another commercial break and hear from one of our episode sponsors. If you're ever interested in being an episode sponsor here on the Kim Jacobs Show, you can definitely reach out to me and I'll tell you how that process works. It's a very smooth process and it gives you the opportunity to connect with all different types of viewers throughout the country. So let's take a break. And Monica, let's get your mind right. We'll be right back after we hear from Confidence Tones.
Welcome to Confidence Tones, where we use a proprietary audio development formula called audio immersion to provide an experience that's designed to help quickly and effortlessly generate positive change in the subconscious mind when used correctly. This experience is achieved using 4 primary building blocks: brainwave modulation, invocation of positive emotions, immersive imagination stimuli, and developmental suggestion. We know of no other source in the world that provides the synergistic combination. With a good pair of headphones, you'll be able to immerse yourself into audio that's designed specifically to help you feel better, do better, and live better.
All right, everyone, we're back and we are talking with the authors, some of the authors of Unapologetically Brave. And we're hearing from them about their chapters in this book and learning more about how they literally exude strength, hope, and triumph as they be able to encourage you. So, Monica, how are you today?
Oh my goodness, I am well, thank you.
Well, I know you're in your vehicle over there, so let me take a second and introduce you, and then we're going to hear more from you about your chapter in the book. Monica Brunson is a dedicated professional with 30 years of experience in senior care. She is a content expert, motivational speaker, and a founder and CEO of Brunson Healthcare Consultants Group, which specializes in locating affordable assisted living housing for those that are in need of 24-hour care for more than 14 years now. She's an entrepreneur who has entrepreneurial skills extended way beyond the healthcare field. And she has helped to manage a family-owned and operated business. So she is not only a business entrepreneur, but owns and operates a family-owned business, Berries by Quisha. And she's been doing that for 10 years and is a licensed life and health insurance agent. A lot of hats that you wear. Welcome, Monica. That's why you're in the car. How are you? Wait a minute. We don't hear you. That's because people are probably calling you as we speak. We can't hear you, but it's okay. It's because people. Nope. Give me a second. So, but it's cute, but it's just not. That's not working. So here we go. We're going to come back and we're going to get a chance to hear from Monica. I think some people are calling her. That's what's happening. And so we are going to keep right on moving along. And we're going to go to Paula because I don't want to run out of time. So I got to manage this thing. You know, that's the coach in me. It's like, okay, immediate, right? Okay. So Minister Paula Neal, I want to go ahead and I know you're like, girl, I wasn't ready. I was supposed to be next. after the next commercial break. But Paula Neal has been married to her wonderful, extraordinary, loving husband, Nathaniel Jerome, Nate. She don't put your whole government name out there, Nate. For 36 years, and they have 3 beautiful children, Nathaniel, Paul, Stefan, Shamara, Janae is, I might be saying a little bit off here, and Jeremiah, I know that name because I have a Jeremiah, Emmanuel, along with beautiful grandchildren. She serves as a youth pastor at her local church, and she has worked in early childhood development as a teacher and director. She recently received her certification in mental health counseling. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show, Paula. I have to unmute you because of the fact that I had everybody muted, I think. Okay, go ahead. How are you?
I am blessed. It's a pleasure to be here. It's an honor. I'm grateful for this opportunity that is afforded to me.
Well, I am so grateful too. And you seem like such a humble, kind person. And I don't know, it's just something about you, or it's something about all of y'all, actually, that's just would draw people to you for sure. What's the name of your chapter, Minister Paula?
The name of my chapter is A Rejected Peace Has Peace Restored.
That, you know what? See, that's it. A rejected peace and peace restored. What does that mean?
That means that what I do, if I may go forward in the explanation of the book, I do crafts and I also refurbish furniture. And many times furniture pieces, you can find them at thrift stores. Sometimes you can find them on the side of the road. And many times people just pass by them.
Right.
But in the eyes of the beholder is where beauty is found. And so I base my story on a piece of furniture, pieces of furniture that I do restore. And many times those pieces, they have cracks, they have scars, they have hardware that might need to be replaced. They may need sanding. And all of this has to be taken in consideration before you even apply the first coat of paint or even a primer.
Wow.
My life was like that. And because I was adopted and because I was adopted and knowing that there was a mother somewhere, there was a father, and I was placed in this home, I felt rejected.
Right.
I felt like that piece of furniture that had been rejected. But God rerouted me on purpose, for purpose. And I thank God for that, because if it had not been for that, who would know what I would be doing? So that is where I base my story from. My story is taken on an example of what I go through in restoring furniture. And after all of that's done, the sanding, the polishing, like we talk about, I think Jacqueline Carr, she talks about the pressing, the shaking, and the beating. After we go through all of that, then you can apply that paint to it. Then you can put the details on it. And that's what I am today. I am the details of what God took out time to fashion me with. No, I'm not this great person with all these titles. I'm just Paula. I'm one that God has chosen to use me. And there was a woman in my life that he brought close to me, and she found the scars. She found the breaks. She found the hardware. She found things that wasn't working, and she brought me just a little bit closer. And she began to take care of me. And I was also a restoration for her, because she had lost 3 people in her life right before my grandfather and father knocked on her front door.
Get out of here.
And for that reason, I give God all the praise, because guess what? I am a restored piece.
Wow. Okay. That, you know what? These things that y'all are saying are shows. Just so you know, I know I'm not doing a shameless plug for myself, whether you ever use me as your coach or not. You all should all have shows, because you have to be able to connect with people that just need to be restored. They're torn down. They need to get the blemishes off and get dusted off and polished up and put some new coating on them. This is some incredibly inspirational stuff that y'all are saying here. And it's going to help people at a whole different level, not just 5 or 10 minutes on a platform, you gotta have some shows, y'all. And so if I can encourage you, please look into that. Whether you go do it yourself, do it with me. Now, do it with me. I ain't trying to push you away. Don't get crazy. Okay. You're going to definitely learn something on KimJacobsConsulting.com. And Les Brown endorses the Kim Jacobs program. Okay. Just so y'all know. All right. Minister Paula.
Yes.
This is just the last question I have for you for right now is there's a piece of furniture and the legs are broken. It's sitting over, it may just be sitting over in Goodwill or sitting out on the trash right there. Some people literally put just stuff right on the streets and anybody can come by and pick it up. And that's how some people are, bulk trash feeling, if that makes sense. What advice and words of encouragement can you give to encourage them to know that they are still valued, no matter what they're currently in?
I always say that,
you know what? And it's so interesting. Every time somebody call her right then,
right.
Y'all hold on. This woman is on a whole live show. Go ahead.
What I say is that someone may not like your performance.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with your worth. And one man's junk is another man's treasure. Mm-hmm. And if God has an assignment for you, you will get to your assignment.
Yes.
Because God created you. He programmed you for a reason. The DNA is set up for somebody. Your DNA is set up for somebody. And life is not over.
Move back a little bit because it's only seeing a piece of your head.
Okay.
There's some good stuff you're saying. I don't want any distraction from. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Life is not.
Say that point.
I'm sorry about that. Life is not over. We can move forward, and my family, I just recently found my biological mother and sisters and brothers. It's a total of 9 of us all together. And if I go back and I look at the toxicity that is there, it's a lot. But God chose me. He chose me to pull me out. God's going to choose somebody that's listening today. When you think it's over, it's not over, because God said it's not over. And as long as there is life, there's hope. And what we do, we put all of our hope and all of our trust in God, and God will definitely put you on a rerouting. You might be going down the road, driving, and all of a sudden, reroute. You're like, wait a minute, I'm moving. God said, just follow the plan, because He has a purpose for the plan.
Wow, you are truly inspiring me, and I'm excited about your chapter. How can people stay connected with you?
Yes, I do have a email. You can go to Creative Blessing. It doesn't have the S on the end. creativeblessing8@gmail.com. You can also find me on Facebook, which is Paula Neal, and also on Clubhouse. My name is Youth Pastor Paula. Just go there, look for my name, read my bio, see who I am. And that's how you can contact me.
Okay. And when you can, put that back in the private chat, because I just see your bio, but I don't see how they can stay connected. And I want them to have that direct information. Okay. Listen, y'all, this is Paula Neal, who just shared some profound information on how we can be restored, basically. And even if somebody else throws you out, God has a plan for your life, and it's restoration. And you're going to be looking just like a brand new piece of furniture when you get done reading Minister Paula's chapter. Okay. So I am thrilled to be able to get ready to introduce you all to Chanel Dickerson. And Chanel, let me for a second. Chanel Dickerson is going to be talking with us today about her chapter. What is your chapter called, Chanel?
Unchosen to Choosing Me.
Now, were y'all expecting that? Unchosen to choose me. Okay. You know what? We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to learn about CTR Media Network right now. And if you are interested in learning more, I have a form that I can share with you, and you can say that the Kim Jacobs Show referred you. Let's learn about
CTR Media Network is now accepting new podcasters to join our growing network that's reaching 350 million global listeners. Have you heard? CTR Media Network offers podcast production, podcast training, distribution, and product placement. Book us for your next event or schedule an interview with CTR Media Network podcasters today. To learn more, go to ctrmedianetwork.com.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're talking with the authors, some of them from Unapologetically Brave. And so you'll learn how you can get a copy of that, some more throughout this broadcast. But I want to take a moment right now to introduce Chanel Dickerson. She's the CEO and founder of Chief Chanel Dickerson, LLC. Chief Chanel empowers young girls and women to overcome limiting beliefs and self-doubt by making self-care a priority. She's retired as an assistant chief of police from the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. During most of her stint as an assistant chief, Chief Chanel was the highest ranking female police officer at MPD. She holds a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from the George Washington University area, from George Washington University in the DC area. And Chief Chanel loves spending time with family and friends. Welcome, Chief Chanel.
Thank you so much for having me. I am honored to be here, to be able to talk about my story, to be able to empower all of your viewers. Everyone that comes in contact with this show is going to walk away with a blessing.
I believe that wholeheartedly, and you all have already proven that. And I know that we're going to get a closing comment from each of you at the end. So get your minds right for that too. Chanel, tell us again, Unchosen to Choose Me. What is that about?
It's Unchosen to Choosing Me. And I talk about my journey in law enforcement. I spent over 3 decades in law enforcement. I was passed over for promotion several times. Men were placed in positions and was promoted instead of me. And actually, all these things were happening from a woman. A woman was actually doing this. And I know, I see you like surprised at how can I have a woman that passed me over? Like I ranked in promotable range and was not promoted. And it just shares about your discouragement. I mean, just think if that happened to you twice, would you be discouraged that you wouldn't try again? So
anybody could be discouraged. Yes.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore. But, women in policing, it's a national average of 12% of women in law enforcement nationally. So when you think about those things, you think there's going to be barriers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I hired a team, a spiritual advisor, a medical doctor, a naturopathic doctor, a massage therapist, and a personal trainer, because I need to deal with my mental health, right? Because I realized that was affecting my mental health. Like you can't prepare for something and someone just comes along and just not choose you and there's no valid reason. That affects you mentally. So I was able to talk to my therapist and he was able to connect with me and allow me to be able to dig deep and share without judgment. Man, did I realize the root cause, like how I was showing up because of a traumatic event in my childhood when I wasn't chosen. So
wait, so now you went, when you did bring this team of people to help you with your mental health, it went back to something that you never even really thought it was linked to. That was like, this is stemming way back to then.
Yeah, actually, I had suppressed it. And if you would have probably asked me about the event, I probably would have said what I've always said, like nothing bothers me. I'm okay. But now I say it's okay not to be okay, right?
Interesting.
And so that's what my story is definitely about, like how you overcome adversity and not need validation from other people. Because, we can get derailed from reaching our dreams and goals because we're looking for validation from others. And it just talks about like how I got that mindset shift and how things in my life just took off. And I was reminded about the serenity prayer. about really understanding the things that you have no control over and that you can't change, and the courage to change the things you can, but that wisdom to know the difference. And when there's someone who is intentionally trying to do harm to you, you can only focus on you. All you have is you.
Wow. Now, the way you say it is so eloquently put. All you have is you. Knowing the serenity prayer, understanding the wisdom to know what you can and can't control, and knowing that big difference. But then, and even the incident that you shared that happened in your childhood, is that incident revealed in your chapter?
Yes, it is. And it all comes back, because I ain't gonna give it all, because I want people to buy the book, right?
No. Shaunda gonna mute herself. She's gonna be like, no, don't be saying all that.
Yeah, but I do want to say that it's about my complexion. It started from being chosen because I was not light enough as a Black girl. Yeah, I kid you not. Like, being not chosen for that scarred me. I mean, it made me look at educators differently moving forward from that. And I didn't tell anybody about it. So can you imagine the deep-rooted trauma that people have buried? And that's that whole brown paper bag test, all of that people experience, way back then. And then you start looking at people along the way, the person that's chosen, you start having unhealthy comparisons. You looking over at them.
Wow.
Wanting to be better yourself when you are good enough, just the way you are.
Wow. I'm glad you broke into that particular topic. And again, each of you that are guests here today, you're welcome to come back and let's do a whole 1-hour episode to deep dive on your topic, because this, like that alone, complexion issues and talking about how we kind of get pitted against each other because of our complexion in certain nationalities. I would love for us to deep dive on that topic a lot more. What are any other points that you want people to walk away with as a reader reading your chapter?
I would like for them to walk away to know that it's okay to be authentic and to do something for you every day. Because what I learned from all of this is, if I'm not healthy, no one around me is going to be healthy, right? And so we all hear that you can't fill anyone from an empty cup. You better start filling them from that saucer, overflow, and then fill them from the saucer. So I would really want people to focus on them, make you better, know that self-care is not selfish.
That's good.
Yeah. Because it's really important to do that, because it's not the thoughts that you have when you're around people. Right. What I learned is it was my thoughts when I was alone. See, those are the thoughts you better worry about somebody when they're by themselves, having to process all the things that have happened to them.
A whole conversation. Sometimes I be talking right out loud. I be like, now, Kim, and then one of my family members would be like, are you saying something to me? I'm like, no, I'm talking to myself. My mom, she said, Kim, you gonna need to stop doing that. This is my mom. She's like, you're gonna need to stop doing that sometime. But it's like my way of just getting a release of saying, I cannot keep certain things bottled up inside of me, but I also don't want to always burden anybody else with the conversation. So I'm like, you know what? You a whole person, and you can talk to yourself and go on and have a good. And sometimes I was talking like my grandma's voice. I don't know if y'all gonna classify me as anything, but I'll be like, now, Kim, if I was there, what would I tell you? Look, my one grandma Clark, she'd say, that's about the size of it. You see right there? That right there, you done just summed it up, baby. That's about the size of it. You don't need to put no more in it. And so she would say certain things that really resonated with me. So I talk to myself all the time. Great advice, Chanel. Talk to yourself. Wow. And do you answer back or not answer back?
No, sometimes you have a whole conversation, but you got to be careful about that, because you may speak negativity into your own life. Like, it's your inner me, your inner thoughts will keep you from reaching your goals in life. So you got to be careful about that.
That's good. And you know what? I go to counseling too. And I'm a big avid believer that counseling can be used for maintenance. It doesn't have to always be something wrong for you to go to counseling. Get yourself a counselor. Sometimes I try to make sure they don't know me that well, right? And they be like, time they say, oh yeah, I saw you on the billboard. I was like, wrong counselor. I can't be venting in here to you, girl. Anyway, Chanel, this is going to be a great chapter. Unchosen to choosing me. Woo! Y'all get that book. Get that book. Unapologetically Brave. And how can people stay connected with you, Chanel?
Thank you so much for asking. At Chief Chanel Speaks with an S.com. You can connect with me there or on social media at I Am Chief Chanel.
Wow. Chief Chanel Speaks. And it's 1L, y'all, for the audio podcast listeners on iHeartRadio and Spotify and all of that. It's actually Chief Chanel with 1L speaks.com. All right. Wow. So we're going to take our final commercial break and come back. And I want to hear one closing comment from each of you, if that's okay, before we close out today. Let me see. I know people be like, nah, I know this girl, I done typed over here with all my fingertips hurting and she ain't even put my comments up. Let's see if I can do a quick flash round of your comments. Tiffany D. Bell is in the house. Y'all know Tiffany D. Bell? She is a wonderful entrepreneur and a podcast host. And she is saying, yes, ma'am, your testimony, Minister Paula, is beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Love the reroute message that you gave. And y'all check out Tiffany D. Bell's podcast. You don't want to miss it. Benita says as well, this is so powerful. God will connect you with the people that you need to be connected with in so many different ways. And you all look so beautiful. Shanna says, and she truly is a blessing. And I see Brittany, I see Tika like, hey, bestie. So I think Tika is talking to somebody that's in the Kim Jacobs show studio audience. Oh, she's talking to you. Okay. So you're her bestie. I was like, she's like, hey, okay, let's see. All right. I see all of your comments coming in. And I do want to take a moment to just acknowledge some of the people that contributed to the Kim Jacobs show this week. Make sure, I do give shout outs, and I thank you, Betty Harris, Shaunda Howerton. Thank you so much. I saw a contribution from you, Ella Spradley, my mom, Athena Robertson, Allison Skeet, Love Robinson, Dr. Joe D. Bear, Janelle Jackson, Charles Everidge, Sonia Patton. Thank you all so much for contributing to the Kim Jacobs show. And I know the day is not over. So tomorrow I'll be sending some more shout outs, because without you, we can't have a daily show Monday through Friday. Y'all, this is historical. And this is Women's History Month. So I am a woman, African-American woman. So we just got out of African-American month, Black History Month, now Women's Month. And I am an African-American woman that's making history on the platform here with a team of people that's helping daily at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time to provide you with this level of content. So thank you all for contributing. We don't take it for granted. All right, quick final commercial, which is by the Ghana Housing Project. Ghana Housing Project, you can actually be able to purchase homes, and they pay 12 to 24 months in advance. And the housing deficit that's there, the community needs to have people that purchase homes and apartments for them to live in. So let's learn real quickly about that. And then we're going to come back and hear your closing comments, beginning with you, Chanel, right after the break.
Ghana has an approximately 1.7 million housing deficit. The Ghana Housing Project is marketing the ability of investors to support the housing crisis. Investors can purchase homes to relocate, a second home, or rent. Nonprofit and profit organizations can acquire a home for a family. With the recent economic growth in Ghana and the African continent, with an approximately 1.7 million housing deficit, Ghana looks to create a luxury affordable housing community to support the growing middle class with the help of Investa Group under the leadership of Dr. Owusu Kizito. Ghana was recently featured as a top 10 location in the world to retire. Investa Group has started developing in Accra and surrounding areas with a goal of up to 1 million homes, featuring affordable luxury 2 bedrooms starting at $51,000 and 3 bedrooms starting at $71,000. INVG, Investa Group, and Africa Development Movement are separate companies and do not have prior affiliations with each other. Africa Development Movement does not represent the buyer or the seller and is simply marketing the Ghana Housing Project initiative. INVG will work directly with buyers with the purchase of apartments in Ghana and investing in InvestiFund LP.
That's the Ghana Housing Project. You can learn more at GhanaHousingProject.com. All right, let's hear our closing comment. We have about a minute or so left here because we had started about 2 minutes later. But anyway, Chanel, tell us a closing comment.
You are good enough, and people only tell you what they want you to know. No unhealthy comparisons.
All right, let's go with you, Monica. Tell us a closing comment.
Hi, everyone. My closing comment is push. Pray until something happens, but even more so, pray, understand, surrender, and heal.
Excellent. Trellis, talk to us. You know, there's a whole app named after you, by the way.
Yes, I do. Stop asking for a seat at the table and become the table. The best way to get approval is not to ever need it. And know that once you're stamped with the approval of God, that's the only approval that counts.
Wow. Okay, awesome. Minister Paula.
Amen. The canvas is in your hands. You take the brush and the paint, and you paint the picture that God has made you to be.
Wow. Okay, and before we hear our final comment from Shaunda Howerton, I'll probably get spanked if my mom in her 70s typed this much and I don't put it up. So I have to put it. My mom will be like, now I know you saw me type a paragraph in on this cell phone. So I'm going to take time and put my mama's comment up here. She said, every one of you ladies are a blessing. This is a great show and the ladies are sharing a wealth of knowledge. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't have to live around with everybody else, but I do need to make sure my mommy is happy, right?
Absolutely.
All right, tell everybody the name of the book again, Shaunda, how they can get the book, and how they can become a part of this of your next upcoming project. I want to hear that because you have another anthology coming out. So tell us all of that, right?
Absolutely. So the name of this anthology is Unapologetically Brave. You can purchase it from any author that you connected with today by going to IamUnapologeticallybrave.com. If you are interested in telling your story, because you know you got a story to tell, in our next anthology, I want to encourage you to go to tellmystory.positioned with a purpose. Tell my story .positionedwithapurpose.com. And so you'll do is register there. And when we are ready to hold our interest meeting in the next couple of weeks, you'll be notified and we will go from there.
That's good. Okay. And I did want to show you all, let me take that down. I want to make sure you know that I want to tell my story. I'm big on showing stuff. That's why I'd rather show anything any day. And this is where you're going to go if you want to be a part of her upcoming anthology. I'm going to share it with you for 2 seconds so you get a chance to see how to be included in the upcoming. A lot of times you have stories and things inside of you that are just hidden, but you don't know who can help pull it out. Well, this woman, as you can see, she's pulled this out of 14 other authors that may or may not have ever been contributing authors before. So you can be a part of her upcoming anthology. And it's right here on Tell My Story. And I'm going to put that in the comment section. Positionedwithapurpose.com. Tellmystory.positionedwithapurpose.com. And it tells you exactly right here how to go about getting included. It tells you what's included, your story, becoming an author, writing clinic, hosting your book launch, editing podcast interviews that like this. And then you say, hey, I want more. And you put your information there. So there's no reason, no excuse. Do not go to your grave saying you never wrote a book whenever Shaunda Howerton is offering you to be a part of her upcoming anthology. Closing comment.
Absolutely. Listen, your time will come when you have to decide to confront your trauma so you can live the life that God has purposed for you.
Perfect. On that note, everyone, have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll be talking with a young man that started an international call center. He just packed up and went abroad and now has one of the largest call centers in the world. And so if you want to learn from people like that, because we're talking about balancing our lives, how can you balance something that you don't know about? So on the Kim Jacobs Show, we're teaching you how to do the process through so many things that help you have a better outcome in your life. Tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You ladies are amazing. Thank you for being here. Stay backstage if you can. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.